interrupted on my last video, so I'm going to rewind it a little bit and continue. I apologize for the interruption. Oh, great. Now I lost it.
If I dial my neurologist... It's kind of, I need this doctor to give me paperwork so I can stay in the shelter. In my case, I mean, I'm getting evicted just because I'm injured and I'm not able to work.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't think so. I wish there was.
That's the one where we left off on. And we were at, like, I don't know, the 7-8 minute mark. So I'll leave it here.
Have some paperwork on me. So, words out of my mouth, walk, stuff like that. So, and that's only probably because I have this neurological disorder with all these other injuries, with me trying to use my nervous system. But he probably has a lot of that from me. But yeah, we need to go up on the medication, and my symptoms are worsening from other injuries affecting this 25-year-old problem. The neurological disorder, the epilepsy, whatever. I still haven't got a straight answer what to call this yet. We know epilepsy medication does wonders for it, though, so we know that, and we know it's called the neurological disorder, but that's not enough for anybody yet. So I got an appointment on February 21st. I'm going to need to get in there much sooner. I'm in an eviction right this minute, and that's because I'm out of work with $0 for infinity until I get better, and I really need to get better right away so I can get back to work or do something to actually live, not in the woods. I can't use a shelter until the doctors have some paperwork on me. So, yeah. Yeah, the shelters don't like it when you can't move or if you have a seizure in the shower. They don't like those. They don't let you come back until you have a lot of documentation. And if it's every day, every minute, they're seeing it all the time, then that's a problem for them. I've run into that for year after year when I'm in my early 20s.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to keep my apartment, so hopefully the judge is on because we have black...
next Tuesday, the 18th.
Run into that for year after year when I'm in my early 20s.
Stop that. I'm trying to get right with
I'm shut down with bed bugs. So with all that going on, we might be able to stay here a little longer, too, I'm hoping.
Okay, so let me get a message over to the clinical team. Dr. Rodriguez is not in the office this week. He returns to the office next Tuesday, the 18th. But I can see if you're able to speak with the triage nurse, and possibly we can have the on-call provider address the situation. But where Dr. Rodriguez is your main provider.
And by the way, that's my third provider in 1 year. I had a good one, but as soon as he talked to my father, he said he couldn't make it no more. No more. First, my father talked to the Department of Health and Human Services. Then that got problematic with other doctors that were talking and working with them. Because all these people work together to try to help me. But as soon as my father just says, oh, he wants attention, he's faking it, he's trying to get money, yeah, whatever gets me off the hook and fucks him, yeah. No, he's definitely not going to say, oh, yeah, my wife might have been mental, and yeah, she might have slipped him a couple pills. And yeah, Zach always did have problems moving his body, and he has fallen a lot during childhood. And yeah, we did move him around the country every 2 years. And yeah, we did cut off doctors in New Mexico and Maine. And yeah, he didn't have any education for about 3 to 4 years. That's not what my father's going to say. He's going to say, he's a liar, he's a thief, he's mentally ill. Yeah, it's all some fantasy. Something on those lines.
Be the one to make the call.
Okay. Can you prep her with what I just said? Because I'm having a lot of difficulty repeating myself. This is like the 5th time I've tried to say this, and I'm starting.
Oh, yeah. By the way, this isn't my first phone call. I'm having a lot of trouble doing these. And this is the second lady, and this is my 10th phone call in a week. By the way, the beginning of this started with me asking just some simple fucking questions. It's not like I want to chat like this. I asked them, when is my appointment? Can I get an appointment? And the doctor said he could go up on the epilepsy medication and to let him know when that was necessary, and I'm letting him know. I've been trying to do this for the last 30 days. I've called and said, do I have any appointments? Let me transfer you, let me transfer you, let me transfer you. Before I know it, I get nowhere. Now, original phone call before I started recording was really simple. I started recording this because it should have been very simple. I'm calling Coastal Neurology. Do I have any appointments? No? I need to schedule one then. I should have one on your books. No? Okay. The doctor also wanted me to let him know if I have ongoing symptoms. My symptoms are getting worse. I also was in the emergency room. I left you a voicemail for that before and nobody's got back to me. But I think we need to go up on the medication. Like he said, that might be possible before. Okay. End of call. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to talk for an hour. I don't have to do any of that shit, right? Nope. They need to ask me every question. They need to know the whole situation. They need to tell me, oh, no, a year from now. They want to. Why can't I just make an appointment and leave a message about my medication in the short way with the doctor? Now I'm talking to this lady after I just said this the short way with the last lady, and I said this the short way last week with the voicemail. Why is it so difficult to just say, I think the doctor's right? Do it. And when is my appointment? Oh, I don't. Oh, then it is. Okay. What is so fucking difficult about that with people? Why does everything have to be a 3-month fight just to know what date you have on your computer? Oh, wait a minute. This all started when my father got involved with my insurance company and they started getting all those old records. When I first moved to New Hampshire, they were basing everything upon my records and my reporting. But now they're being sent all this bullshit, fantasy bullshit, and they're fed a lot of bullshit. So now they think I'm bullshitting them, so they're going to bullshit me. And this is why this all has to be this difficult. Because I certainly was able to call before my father got involved. I called them, and they gave me an answer. Now, I wish you could have got the beginning of this recording, but I didn't expect this phone call to be a 3-parter. I just expected them to give me a date and say, okay, I'll leave the message with your doctor. You need an up on medication. Things didn't go well at the emergency room. You're having more symptoms. Okay. But instead, it just goes on and on. Transfer. And none of them can help me. They all just want to take down a report of what's going on. And that's all. That's what they're doing. This lady isn't going to give me my answers. She's going to take down this report and leave it with somebody else. And then that somebody else is going to get back to me. Or they're going to leave a message with Rodriguez, and then he'll get back to me. But then he'll say he never got the message. So that's what's really going on here, by the way. And that's why there's all this information. All I want is a simple phone call. But they don't make it that simple. Instead, they want all the information so they can transfer it. That way, the nurse knows what's going on. But it doesn't have to be this difficult. They could transfer me to his voicemail. I could leave a 1-minute voicemail and be done with this. But no, not anymore. I don't get that anymore. Not ever since my father got involved with the Department of Health and Human Services. Not ever since, he got involved with my insurance company. Not since they got all the information from my mother and father now for years of that. Oh, yeah, I should have never signed those releases because, oh, boy, my father, who I thought would be a good dad and be, he's supposed to be following Jesus. Nope, he's going to get me killed. Oh, fuck. I made that. Once again, I backed my father. I bailed him out. I'm trying to be loving. I'm following Jesus. I'm working, paying my... Oh, nope, here comes my phone to this bag of rocks again. Anyways, we'll continue.
And I'm having a lot of difficulty. This phone call was a little longer than I expected, and I'm getting more and more difficulty trying to say this right. And I don't want to confuse your nurse, your triage nurse. I just want to say this the same way 40 times in a row until the right person gets the message, but I'm having a lot of difficulty with that.
Okay, absolutely. I'll get this message over to the triage nurse. She may give you a call at some point today. She may just need to ask you a few more questions, but I'll get all the information that you gave me.
Okay, I'm going to have to skip my phone number and information from here. She transfers me, gets me a call back. They still haven't called me back. And by the way, I said 40 times in a row. I only want to say it one time. But there's been 30 days here, years of it. And so I must be on my 40th time in the last year. That's why I said that, because this isn't the first time. They got the simple version. They've got the simple version. It doesn't have to be this difficult. It doesn't have to be this way.
In the message to her, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, you don't need my information on the registry.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
You would think that's my first phone call. They lose my appointments. I go down in
So now I
person
get a call
and they're not
back, and
there.
I
This
wait
is
for
the
the
third
nurse to call me
neurologist.
back
Now, you
and
want to
say
know
it
what the
all over
problem is?
again, and then
I had
the
a
doctor's
really
gonna
good
say, "Oh my
neurologist
God,
coming
3
down
weeks
from
from now
Boston
while
with
I'm
these
living in the
people.
woods."
Really good.
Oh, and by the way,
Then
the
they
courts
spoke to
aren't
my
much
father.
better. Yep. So the courts aren't much better either. I went to court yesterday. Or sorry, no, I didn't go to court. I went to a discovery. Nobody gave me any of the paperwork we were supposed to get. The lawyer didn't have a computer. She had no way to take the files, but yet I was prepared. I had the USB drive for her phone. I have a USB drive for her computer. I had hard paper copies with envelopes. I got it all for her, just like the judge ordered, but she gave me nothing. The judge ordered her and the landlord to hand over everything they had to me. And then she comes with a USB and says she doesn't have a fucking computer. Bullshit, she doesn't have a fucking computer. She has one waiting for her in the car at home. She just doesn't want to give me my files through her computer. She doesn't want to do any of that. Well, how are you going to take my files? Tell me that. She's trying to hand me a regular USB drive. How about if I do the same thing and I hand her a regular USB drive? Then they say we both didn't comply? No, it's a good thing I was smart and I complied to the court order. Because now I can go into court and let them know that they did not comply. And that's exactly what we need to do. But guess what? I've spent all of this morning dealing with my father's shit for 25 years. 25 years I'm still dealing with this shit. And it takes hours out of my day. And I'm hurting. And I'm having seizures. Not the first time. This shit was going on at age 7. If my father tries to tell you, oh no, this is something new. No, it's not. Doctors were telling my father about coordination issues. There was an overdose in front of him. My mother was on the phone with the emergency responders. There was many people coming up to my father. He moved me to Texas. Doctors heard about it there, and then I was moved to New Mexico. He knows there were no doctors in New Mexico. He knows there were no doctors in Maine. He knows the doctors were lacking in Texas, but the physical doctors, and then he also knows that his wife doubled down on psych illnesses that were made up. She even tried to push schizophrenic. She tried to make it seem like I was schizophrenic. Meanwhile, my mother's seeing things that aren't there. My mother is literally seeing things in the hallway that isn't there, and she wants to make me seem schizophrenic after every single person she's told that to said that my mother was nuts. Zach is not schizophrenic. Why would you think that? He's never heard a voice in his life. He doesn't have any of the symptoms. He doesn't look like it. And I actually had a person across the hall from me that was schizophrenic, and one of these orphanage type people. All the kids have no parents. I was the only kid with parents in all these places. In almost every place I was in, I was the only kid with parents. But here's the catch. I really didn't have parents. The other orphans were allowed to go clothing shopping every month with their clothing check. Well, my father held my clothing check every month. And then he did like a twice a year thing, or he tried to use it as Christmas gifts, or he tried to be an accountant. That's what he did. He figured, how little can I give my son and get away with? Yeah, he doesn't need this. No. And he doesn't need this either, no. And he doesn't need this. He has 3 psychiatrists working on him. He doesn't need a physical doctor, no. Oh, he's bumping in the furniture? He doesn't need to be seen for that, nope. We don't need to invest. No, let's just go to Dr. Rosenblum. Yeah, he's a psychiatrist that loves listening to my wife. He's writing a book, and it seems like he always is great. You know, he listens to my wife all the time. My wife is talking about how great he is. My wife is telling my son, oh, this doctor's great, this doctor's great. Well, my son just draws pictures in the corner, and when he says that his mother is making up stories about him, they just say, let it go, Zach, just let your mother say stories about you. Yeah, just let it go, just let her do it, it's okay. Let her make up illnesses about you, and it's okay, is what this psychiatrist is telling me. That's fucked up.